What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Engineers That Filters podcast, episode 159. I am your host, Jacob Thompson, and tonight I'm drinking Monterey Cerveza. This is Aldi's Cerveza. I don't got high hopes for it, but it'll probably be fine.
Nice. I'm Joseph, and I've got an Oberon tonight.
Hey,
Good
let's
old
go.
classic.
Very nice.
Nice.
I'm Gabe, and I got the other Bells duo, the Two-Hearted Classic.
Very classic.
Up to you.
Nice. And I'm Dayton, and I'm drinking a new, truly, the pina colada styled margarita.
How is it?
Ooh.
I think is what it's
What's the
called.
verdict?
Or pina colada style hard seltzer. It's pretty good.
Okay.
I gotta say.
How does it rank among the truly pantheon?
I think above the what's the really shitty ones? The lemonades.
The lemonade.
Yeah, above the lemonades. I think it's below the teas.
Okay.
You got the fruit punches.
And fruit punches are alright. They're really sweet.
That's so many
and then-
variants.
I know, they have
It's
so many.
insane.
And then they have the poolside ones as well. The poolside ones are trash.
What
I didn't
what
even
are
see
those?
those.
Are those like fruit punch or what?
No, they have like a mojito one. They have a
Those
pina
just mixed
colada
drinks in a
one.
can.
Essentially, yeah, but the mojito literally tastes like grass clippings.
Oh, God.
It's
Yeah.
impressive how bad it is.
I think I've seen like a billboard for those, but I don't think I've
Yeah,
seen
you
them
should
in
avoid
stores.
them.
Yeah, good to know.
Yeah.
I do want to say, because I know Emily's listening, we are often in the minority on the lemonade Trulies, but I will stand by the fact that they are bad. They just have that
Yeah, I
bad
think all four of us are in
aftertaste.
agreement.
Yeah.
Alyssa likes them too, so
And I know people
No,
like them.
no.
We're haters, you know, and sometimes that's how it is. But
That's
also,
our shtick.
I need to talk about this because it's been happening so much lately. So obviously, I flubbed the intro a little bit on this episode, and I flubbed a tiny bit last episode. But for whatever reason, recently, I've just been getting in my head about it, and like every week on Red String, me and Perk it takes like 3 tries for me to get the intro right. Because just like with him watching me, I get nervous, and then I mess it up, and then I have to like re-record it multiple times. But you know what? We're sending it. Hopefully, now that I've said it out loud, I'll get past my problem. But I don't know. We do this episode almost 160 times, and for whatever reason, now I'm flubbing the intro. But anyway, welcome back to the show, everyone. This is the Engineers That Filters podcast, episode 159. If you like our show, we're currently posting monthly, so the first Monday of every month will be an episode. Might change soon. I know people are moving around and changing things a bit right now. So once things get more settled, we'll hopefully be able to get a better schedule in it for you. But for now, monthly. If you like our show, be sure to follow us on social media and on Twitch. Links are in the description below. But yeah, let's get into it. It's been a month, boys. Doesn't really feel like it. It felt like it was less than a month, but also I forgot everything we talked about last week, or last month. Who wants to start with their recap? Or else I'll point at somebody if anyone wants to.
sure, I'll
Yeah,
go.
point. Okay, Joseph. Yeah, Joseph.
I'll volunteer. I did 1 or 2 cool things. I actually even made a little. I've been keeping notes now because I forget.
Smart man.
Let's see. Where do I have it? Yeah, so Alyssa's family does a yearly glamping trip in southwestern Minnesota because she has family in South Dakota in Sioux Falls. So they drive over and it's kind of halfway, kind of not really. I went 2 years ago. Last year, Dayton and I were on Isle Royal, so I couldn't go, but it was fun. It's a nice little campground. There's hiking trails and bike trails and stuff, so good time. And then last weekend, Alyssa and I did a section of the Superior Hiking Trail. We did about 30 miles. Dayton and I were going to do part of it. He was going to do the whole thing, and since he chickened out, I was like, well, I still want to fucking do it. And we've been talking about places where we wanted to go. Because we did Pictured Rocks last year, so we want to do another trip. We just couldn't decide on a place, and then Dayton's like, "Yeah, I'm not doing the Superior Hiking Trail anymore." And I was like, "Well, I still want to do it." So we just kind of picked a section and did it. It was about a little over 30 miles in 3 days. So I think no more than 12 miles on our longest day, I think. So it was pretty good.
Oh yeah.
It rained most nights, most of the nights, 2 of the 3 nights. But it didn't rain during any of the day, so it was pretty good weather overall.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Dayton, do you want to expand on why you chickened out of this trip?
Yeah, I guess.
Defend yourself, I guess.
It wasn't so much chickening out, it was reprioritization of what I cared about. So like after doing the backpacking trip out in Vermont, I realized that I didn't want to be backpacking alone. I just don't enjoy it. So then I prioritized my time to spend time with friends, family, keep training, and then just hanging out.
Oh, I thought it was COVID related. That's what I was teeing you up for, because you got sick recently.
No, that ruined another thing though. I'll make sure to talk about that.
Okay.
When it's my turn to talk.
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Maybe we can make it your turn now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's my turn to talk, so I can talk about it now.
You get the what's the thing you get in elementary school? You get the shaker or whatever the hell.
All wands.
Talking stick.
There you go. Talking stick.
Yeah. So after, I'm gonna do it chronologically because if I talk about COVID right now, then it's out of order. It doesn't make any fucking sense. So after we recorded our last podcast, I flew out to Connecticut to finish up like my last 2 weeks there, right? So when I was there, I was just working, staying at a friend's place, just going to the beach a lot, hanging out with friends, blah blah blah. A lot of good fun. And then I flew back on the 8th, back to Michigan, and I was unemployed at that point. So I'm now gainfully unemployed, or as Gabe has heard, fun employed.
Unemployed.
Which is also a really good term. I tested positive for COVID the morning after I got back from Connecticut. So I suspected I got it on like the
Probably
last
from
day
the
of
plane,
work. I'm
right?
thinking.
Oh, okay.
No, because I think just like the timeline of things,
Sure.
did make sense from the plane. So yeah, I got COVID immediately after I got back from Michigan. And I was supposed to do initially the Superior Hiking Trail right after I got back from Connecticut, but then I was like, well, I don't want to do that. So my dad and we booked flights to go to Isle Royale again, and we were going to go to Isle Royale for I think 7 days, 8 days, and then I was going to do my ultra marathon after that. And COVID managed to ruin both of those in one fell swoop, which was kind of shitty. But on the plus side, I impulse purchased a Nintendo Switch, so I've been that while I was recovering. So Pokemon Legends Arceus, tons of fun. Love that game.
Isn't it pretty? I haven't played it. It looks very similar to Monster Hunter in like kind of the structure of the game.
I feel like it's a collectathon, and that's like so fucking up Dayton's alley. And I mean that in a good way.
Yeah,
it's a fun game, but
yeah, it's like just catch as many freaking Pokemon as you possibly can. But yeah, I've been playing that a lot. I managed to go up to my cabin when I had COVID. My dad didn't care. My uncle didn't care. They're like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. So that was nice to at least get out of the house. And yeah, at this point, I'm like cleared from COVID.
Nice.
And I'm just slowly recovering after it. It's gonna take me a while to get my running back up to par. But
I was gonna say, what's the ultra marathon plan, if there is one?
Yeah, so I'm planning on still doing it. I'm not gonna be able to run it as fast as I wanted to. But I figured that I can still do it. It'll just take me longer. So I'm gonna do it towards the end of September. So it'll be a little bit chillier up there. But I figure I can deal with the cold better than I can deal with the heat. Yep. And then also today I impulse bought a flight to Norway. So I'm going to Norway in about 10 days. So.
Okay.
Nice.
You gonna do a little skate skiing out there? I guess
There's
it's
not gonna be
fucking
any
summer.
snow,
What am I
yeah.
talking about? I think of Norway. I think of like
Yeah.
Nordic skiing. Of course, you can't do that right now.
Yep.
Should be cool though.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll
Got
be
a really
fun.
good deal on a flight, so I was like, I'm unemployed. I don't
What else
care.
am I gonna do?
Yeah. That's like I saved up all this money for a reason.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Might as well spend it. Oh yeah. I'm very excited to hear about that trip. Let's go over to our other fun employed person. Dub, how you doing?
Spoilers.
Sorry.
Yeah, I quit my job. Something else kind of came up. I applied to it a little while back. It took a minute to get back to me, but a lot better opportunity, I think, in the long run. We'll have a lot more time to work from home. I don't have to commute. Got 4 more vacation days, 4 more holidays. Just a lot better benefits and a 401k that's like 3-4 times as good as the current one I have. So it was a pretty easy decision. It seems like a really exciting opportunity, so I'm super excited for that. But yeah, I just finished last Thursday, so I have 2 weeks off between jobs. A little bit of time to hang out and do some trips and stuff. So it's pretty weird. Like, today was like probably the first day it set in, where it was like a Monday, and I'm like expecting to like get up and go to work and stuff, and I still have like some friends from work texting me about stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, like I'm not there. It's a very, very bizarre feeling.
Yeah.
Um, the company, when I put in my notice, tried pretty hard, I think, to get me to stay. They tried giving me another job with like in the company with like some more money. I had like the CEO come up to me at one point and say he was gonna miss me. Like I had a little bit of pushback, but
Yeah.
I think in general it's for the best. So we might save that for a topic for another day. But I mean, there's some decisions and some things that came up that really made me want to move to something else, and this is a lot closer to home and has a lot more benefits. So
Right.
I'm excited about it. So excited to have some time off.
Yeah.
Fun employment. That's what I call
Glad to
it.
hear it. And like, it sounds like if anything, there'll be good references, because you left on good terms and
Yeah.
you know.
No, I mean,
Mhm.
literally, the CEO said if anything goes wrong with my new place, I'm more than welcome back. So I'm not too worried. It was kind of weird timing because it was like just before. So we have like bonuses that come out at the end of this month. But the way the timing shook out, like there was no way I was going to be able to get it without missing this opportunity. So that kind of sucked. And HR is like, no, you can't have it. Even though you were here for like 11 months and 2 weeks, it's not 12 months. So you don't get any of it. And
That
I,
sucks.
I just found out today that like some of it might even be like RSU stock, which means like you can't claim it as yours within like a year anyway. So, but yeah, I don't know. Just a lot of weird, awkward, tough conversations the last month. So
Yeah.
like it's just so fucking hard just being like I mean Dayton told his story about like his
Mhm.
I'm quitting like
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like tried to call him on Teams all day because he was working from home, and then like finally got a hold of him, and he was like starting to talk about something like, actually I want to go first, and he was like, okay, and I was like, there's no easy way to say this. I have a new job. I'm leaving. He's like, what? So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I definitely want to have a larger discussion about job stuff in the future,
yeah,
but we'll save that.
for
But I'm
sure.
excited for both of you, and hopefully, things look up in the future. Sounds like they are. So
Greener pastures for
yeah.
sure. So, yeah.
On my end, last episode I was not in a great spot, but since then I've gotten back into therapy, and things have been going super well. This is definitely the best therapist I ever had, and this is also the first time I've had a weekly appointment, which is just an absolute game changer because you can actually like your therapist remembers everything week to week, and you can just make progress faster and go over stuff faster. So it's been super nice. One thing I think you guys will be excited about is I think my therapist cracked the code on how to get me out of bed in the morning. I know this is a battle that's been
Really?
happening for so long, but it's so far the strategy has worked. All right, here's the new okay, so here's what happens. We're having a discussion about it. I'm like, I need to be able to get up in the morning to be productive. And he's like, well, what's your current morning situation? I'm like, well, if I have to like go to campus, if I have to be at campus by 9, right? Alarm goes off at 7:30. I hit snooze a million times, and I get up at like 8:10ish, and then I try to take a shit, and then by the time I'm done taking a shit, it's like I have to go. So I'm like feeling anxious about being late. And he's like, so you're telling me you don't want to wake up because when you wake up, you have to take a shit and then you're anxious. I'm like, yeah. He's like, that doesn't sound great. Like, we need to make that. We need to, like, I wouldn't want to wake up either. You need to fix your routine so you're excited to wake up in the morning. There's something good for you to do. So it's a happy experience, not a one that you want to avoid. So the new strat is every morning, wake up at 7:30. I watch an episode of anime, and then I start my day. And honestly, been working perfectly. So I'm like, I can wake up slowly by watching a show I like, and then I'm like, all right, now I can get moving and get ready and stuff, and then I can be ready to go by whenever. So hopefully it sticks, but so far it's been looking good, and I'm happy that finally kind of cracked the code.
Nice.
So that's been good. But we've been talking about some job stuff too, also, but I'll save that for when we have that larger discussion. But yeah, overall, I'm doing better. I'm a little bit anxious because this week is the first week of classes. So I'm taking a class this semester in food policy, which I'm actually pretty excited for. I think it'll be interesting to learn about kind of like how the U.S. government deals with food policy and like where it can be improved. But it's going to be just like extra work I have to do. And then I have 2 semesters left till I'm supposed to graduate. And I just hope I can get all my work done and be able to graduate on time. So yeah, so hopefully everything goes well. But so far, things have been better lately, and hopefully they continue to get better. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that is our little update here. And now this is an episode that hopefully fans will appreciate. 'Cause I don't think we've done one in a while where we just do some goofy ass discussions about shit that doesn't matter. And I want to start with Dayton because Dayton put a question in our group chat that I don't know how the hell Dayton even thought of this or why you care. So what's the backstory on this question?
So, if I remember the backstory correctly, this was spawned from when I was hiking, when I was backpacking out in Vermont. And just load the time to just think. Your mind goes kind of weird, wacky places.
Was this when you were drugged by the cult?
It was around that same time frame, yeah.
Okay.
And I remember like thinking about like people's like individual preferences for like spoons over forks, right? And how some people like spoons over forks. And then I was like, there are some people that use forks in a bowl. And I'm like, why the hell would you ever use a fork in a bowl? And then that kind of like led to me thinking like, well, you use a fork on a plate and there are curved plates. But where do you draw the distinction between where you want to use a spoon on a curved plate or a fork on a curved plate, right? Like what's like that angle? So then my mind, culminated all these things, and it's when does a curved plate become a bowl? That's the question.
Okay. Now I'm wondering if we need to have another discussion about forks and bowls because I feel like this is also a point of contention for you.
Yeah, a salad.
It is
easy.
Macaroni and cheese.
Ramen, I just had it.
Macaroni and cheese is blatantly wrong.
Yeah, you want a
use a
spoon.
fork of mac and cheese?
You want a spoon.
I honestly use both.
But for
I'll
a
just
longer
like pick
noodle, you
whatever
need
I
a
have.
fork. For like a spaghetti or a ramen, you need a fork.
Yeah, so I agree with that. But like I think that salads can be eaten with a spoon just fine.
No, get out of here.
What?
Get the fuck out of here, Dayton.
There's a specific fork for salads, and you're telling me that you need you can use a spoon for it?
Yeah.
Is your salad chopped into the tiniest pieces like imaginable? Like, what are you talking? You need to be able to get
salads
through
are
shit.
you eating?
No, because you inevitably get to the last freaking quarter of the salad, and you're trying to stab all these pieces really awkwardly. Nothing stabbing on the fork. What do you end up doing?
Okay, you end up scooping
I don't
it,
get a
but
fucking
for
spoon.
90% of the salad, you're not scooping it.
You can make it work, and then you only dirty one utensil.
You only
But
dirty
if you're
one
just eating
anyway.
a salad, you're only using a
What the
fork.
fuck is? Wait, I don't pull
What do
out
you-
a spoon when I get to the bottom of the salad. I just scoop it with a fork. Forks have
Okay, well, that's
scoopability,
it.
Dayton.
Okay. Spoons have fork ability.
No, they do
No,
not.
they don't.
No, they do not.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
That's
Yeah,
why
they
the
do.
spork exists.
I would say I think you need a spork.
No, no, no.
Dayton.
Sporks are inferior in literally every way.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm saying the fact that you're saying spoons have fork capabilities is not true because the spork exists for that purpose.
Mhm.
That's
Sure.
what I was trying to point out.
Okay, let's get back.
Okay.
Dayton's obviously a madman on this fork spoon business.
I could never imagine
No, I
eating
kind of
a
want to
salad
stay
with a
on this. I
spoon.
want to dive deeper, honestly.
Okay, also, what questions do you have for the defendant here?
Why?
Oh, so I guess it's more so you must prefer plates over bowls then. Like if you had a salad and you would choose to eat a
How often do you
bowl
eat
with a
salad with a
salad?
spoon? That's my question.
Yeah, I guess that's a good question.
I will say most times when I eat salads, I do use forks. But depending on the geometry of the leaves, that makes a difference.
What
You know,
do you mean?
if they're
Like you're talking about like
If-
spinach versus iceberg type of a deal, or what?
Or like arugula?
yeah, and like if you have like a lot of like big pieces, like that's not suited for spoons. That's suited for a fork.
Oh, we're aware.
But if you have a nice chopped salad, everything is well, let's say, I don't know, 4 square inches or smaller, then I think that a spoon works very well.
Man, I get what's
It's
And
spoonable,
also-
I'll say that.
And also croutons. Don't even get me fucking going on those. Try and stab one of those
Okay,
things. You're
that's
just gonna
fair.
break in half.
scoop them.
Oh,
Scoop them.
tomatoes. Oh, tomatoes. Oh yeah, what are you gonna do with those? They're gonna freaking squirm all over the plate, squirm all over the bowl. You're not gonna be able to stab those things. And then when you do, they're all mushy on the inside.
I want to scoop a
Just use a
tomato
spoon.
on a spoon. That's just gonna like. Then I'm playing like a game, you know.
It's curved for a reason. You're not using a flat knife, Gabe.
Oh wait, that's what a spoon is.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you use the cup part, not the
Blade.
The blade.
Up like this.
You know, I'll concede you're making some points on certain salad toppings are not
Croutons,
ideal
sure.
for forks. This is just bringing up. I think we need to bring sporks back for salad. We should have a salad spork and not a salad fork.
Forks suck.
I'm not saying they
No.
don't suck, but like I feel like we need both for this context.
Why don't you just? I don't know. My point is, there is a such thing as a salad fork. I feel like
Yeah.
there isn't that many dishes that have a specific utensil for it, and salad is among the elite few where it's like this is a fucking device designed to chomp salad efficiently, you know, and it is not a spoon.
Okay, so I will say that if you have a proper salad fork, then yes, that's acceptable. But if you're using a non-salad fork,
It's just a smaller
of here.
fork. A salad fork is literally just a smaller fork. What are you talking about?
right, dude, but it makes a difference. They tend to be wider so you can scoop better.
No, they don't. A salad fork is just
Mine are.
it's just smaller.
I think mine are wider as well, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. You know, I should know this. I used to do wedding catering, but it's been a hot minute.
I just know when you get to a table that's set, you work out in, so
Yep.
the salad fork's on the farthest left. That's all I know.
Okay. But okay, Dan, how are you making your salads? What are you buying at the store?
I thought we were moving on.
I was about to, but I'm like, you know what? I need to ask this. How are you making your salad?
I usually have spring mix.
Okay. So yeah, the goat, Aldi spring mix. So yeah, that's all mostly big stuff. I feel like it's forks all day.
Nah, that's your opinion.
I feel like you're just digging yourself a hole and you just want to admit you're wrong. I feel like
Why would I admit I'm wrong with it's been suiting me fine?
How many times have you eaten salad with a spoon? Like roughly. Percentage. Give me a
don't know.
percentage.
Too many to count. I mean, when I'm eating it by myself, I probably eat, I would say 50 to 75% of the time.
Oh, at your house. This is not like camping. You're like at your house and you're like, I'm choosing a spoon.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Gabe, I was about to ask this man how he defines a bowl so we can go to the second part, but I don't know this man's sane. Like, you can give me a
Yeah.
definition for a bowl?
He needs to be admitted to a psych ward. That's all I know.
Okay, so let's get it on to the real issue here. So you're saying, when does a curved plate become a bowl? In your mind, what is a bowl, or like what are the criteria required of bowls? What does a bowl need to do for you?
I think that it needs to have soupability.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be able to hold soup.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that some plates, right? Some plates have a slight curve to them, right? And you can put soup in those.
Okay,
But that does not lend itself easily for eating the soup out of.
let me see this. Okay? Does it have to have the ability to hold soup, or like you want it to hold soup? Like
Good.
you would choose it?
Yes.
Because like technically some plates could hold soup, but if you're
I was
crazy
gonna
if
say,
you're doing it.
very few plates are completely flat with no like lip on the side. Most of them have a slight curve or a slight lip. So all of them can hold some amount of soup.
Right. Now, and I will say, I do want to make this point just very quickly here. As you know, friend of the show, Alex Perkins, was on. He plays Ultimate Frisbee, okay? And Ultimate Frisbee teams, they drink a lot, you know? And one time I was drinking with him, and he informed me that you can fit 3.5 beers in a Frisbee. That is not a small amount of liquid.
Wow.
And, so it's like, is a Frisbee a curved plate or a bowl? Neither. It's a Frisbee, but you get what I'm saying here. Like, if you if you had a plate the same dimensions as a Frisbee, technically, I think you could eat soup out of it. But no one would choose to do that. No sane person would choose to do that. You know what I mean?
It's too shallow.
It's too shallow.
I feel like we're asking the question of what's the optimal bowl then. Not exactly like when a plate becomes a bowl.
No, I think it's the parameters that make it more bowl-like than plate-like.
Let me ask you this, Dayton, because I think soupability is a great criteria, but I think another consideration we need to think about is just general size and surface area. Because if you think, let's say you have a large plate, and then you add like a good amount of side to it, like a few 6 inches of side, then it's kind of like a serving dish. Like you might use that to serve a salad or a casserole or something. And it's like, I wouldn't call those bowls, even though they technically are bowl shaped. You know what I mean? I wouldn't call those bowls because they're just so large and you kind of use them for a different purpose. So like, I'm not sure there's any plate that you could stick sides on and call it a bowl. Like I would call it like a serving dish at that point.
So that brings me up to my visual aid then.
Okay.
What is this?
So please describe this for the audio listeners.
So this is what Alyssa and I call our plate bowls, because they are somewhere in between a plate and a bowl. There is about 2.5 to 2 inches of height from the bottom to the top of the rim, but it is also, I don't know, roughly, well, the sides are 60 degrees maybe coming out, and it's, oh shit, I probably should have measured this ahead of time. I don't know, 6 inches across, maybe, diameter. It's about the length of my hand, fingertip to palm, I would say. Not really a bowl, not really a plate.
What do you eat out of that usually, Joseph?
Pasta dishes. I would say mostly noodle dishes. So like I had some lo mein out of this the other day, actually this morning. Or not this morning, this afternoon. Yeah, I would say like stir fry is really good. Rice dishes are really good for it because you can put like a bed of rice down and then toppings on top.
When you eat rice out of that,
fork.
What utensil do you use?
Fork.
What do you do about the few rice little freaking crumbs?
Just scoop them with the fork, Dayton. The fork
You get them
has
into a
scoopability.
pile, and if I'm feeling like an animal, I eat it like I'm drinking the milk after cereal, and I just kind of like scoop it down my gullet.
You're a madman.
I'm aware.
No, Dayton's a bad man. That's a very normal thing to do in other cultures.
I feel like that what you have in your hand is like my least favorite type of dish. Like I fucking hate those.
Really?
Because I do. Because if I want a bowl, I want it to be like, I don't want to like look at like soup that I'm about to put into it and be like, oh, I'm only gonna get like 2 little drips of soup in this fucker, before it like overflows. But I could see like where you were saying that some of those meals would be ideal for it. It's just for me, like the use case is like either want a fucking bowl or I want a plate. I don't
And
want some in
see,
between garbage.
I'm predominantly a plate guy. If I'm eating dinner and it's not like a soup or a stew, it's on a plate for me. Like unless it's specifically a bowl thing. But Alyssa is a bowl person. She will eat anything out of a bowl, does not like plates. So these are a very good middle ground, so we can use the same dishes. But we stack them with the bowls, and I don't know that I agree with that. But like it stacks easier because the bowls can sit on top of this, and
So
'cause
I would
they
call that a saucer.
saucer.
And I just looked up the Wikipedia thing to make sure I was right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Says currently the term is used to denote a small plate or a shallow bowl that supports a cup, but it's usually used to serve coffee or tea.
Yeah, that's not a saucer.
So it's not for just
That's not a
coffee or
saucer.
tea.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
but
way too big to be a
That's not a
saucer.
sauce.
Yeah, saucer's like the little plate you hold the little cup.
Yeah, I
over.
guess that's true.
It
And
usually
then it has
little
like
indent on it.
the frilly shit on the outside to make it look
Yeah.
A little
decorative.
So
pinky up.
here's what I'll say, Joseph. I think you're spot on in that. Like that plate bowl is perfect for pasta because as you get down to the end of pasta, it's gonna squirm when you hit it with a fork, and the walls stop it from squirming.
Yeah, it keeps it contained, but I
contained.
think it's still for plate-esque meals.
Yeah, because like you can eat pasta out of a bowl. I've done it before. It's not terrible. But
Yeah.
like sometimes you just want a little more surface area to work with. You have a little more choice of toppings because that's the problem when you have pasta in a bowl. Is like sometimes you get stuck in the bottom and you can't always get to what you want. If you want to like mix up your bites. So I like that. But yeah, I think it is more of a plate than a bowl because you're eating pasta and rice, which you would normally have on plates. But it's hard because you can eat both those dishes in a bowl. And Dayton, if I remember right, when we lived together in Connecticut, you're a bowl boy like Alyssa, and you like to have a lot of your dinners in bowls. Is that correct?
Oh, I'm a little bowl boy. Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh no.
Yeah, I love bowls. I would if you freaking held a gun to my head and you said pick a utensil and pick a serving thing, right?
Fish.
And if you don't pick one, then you die. I would say spoon and bowl me. That's what I would say.
I would say I'm a little bowl boy.
I'm a little bowl boy.
That's funny.
But yeah, Joseph, the visual aid I think highlights a very significant I would say arguments. Okay, so if we look at this thing, right? So we have an inner diameter and an outer diameter. All right, and then we also have a wall angle, which Joseph highlighted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the height of that angle. All right, and if you synthesize all of these things together, you can put it into a ratio. Okay, you can put it into the ratio of the I'll say the depth, right? And then the depth to the surface, the projected surface area, right? So that would, I guess, just be the OD, right? In those two, a smaller ratio lends itself to be a plate. A larger ratio lends itself to be a bowl, right?
Okay.
But if you get it to become, if it's too much of a bowl, right? There's got to be an upper cap. Otherwise, it's just a cylinder. Right.
Just make a cup.
When does a bowl become a cup?
That's another good question.
Oh no.
Here's what it comes down to. I think we made this too complicated. It comes down to what Dayton said, which is soupability. If you're gonna have soup, would you reach for this item? If yes, it's a bowl. If not, it's not a bowl. End of discussion.
This is very inconvenient for soup.
I feel like that makes the bowl the eye of the boulder. So hard. I'm sorry.
See, all right, Joseph, hold that bowl back up, or saucer, plate, whatever. The undisclosed object.
The mystery dish.
So, all right, so soup. Okay, assuming that the soup is not a gazpacho. All right, so it's got some heat to it. This would be an awful
Yeah, I would not
bowl
put
to
soup
eat
in
out of.
that.
It would lose its heat so fast.
That is
Yep.
true.
So fast. You would start it off and it'd be piping freaking hot, and then by the time you got to the bottom, it would be that gazpacho that I so hate. So that's another thing. I think that the soupability, a factor in that is the ratio, though. The ratio
Yeah.
of
The
surface
heat
area to
retention.
volume.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. Also, that'd just be a massive bowl of soup. If you ate soup out of that, you'd be like gorging yourself.
I
It's
feel
so
like
much
that-
soup.
This
How
I
is
could eat
that?
like 2 of those.
I
this
feel like
is
that's like
those.
nothing. I feel
Maybe
like
It's
that's
maybe
not
I have a
that-
bad perception of how big that actually is, but
I feel like that's
I mean-
tiny.
I'm imagining like a
next to my
plate,
face.
and then you just like folded the sides up a little bit. Is it smaller than
Yeah,
that?
it is smaller than like. Well, Jacob, you know those full size plates, those like dinner plates that I have.
Yeah.
It's definitely smaller than that.
Okay.
I would say it's closer to like the dorm plates that we stole and had in our house.
Mm-hmm.
Like that thinner
Yeah, the
ceramic
plasticky ones. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very similar to that, maybe a little smaller.
Okay. But so if you fill it to the brim, though, if you fill that to the brim with soup,
Why
I
would
don't
you want
think-
to do that?
that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't.
You just spill it like that.
You know, circles are deceiving, and this is a lot of surface area here at the top. So maybe compared to like a standard. I wish I should have
Because here's
brought
what
like a
I mean. I go
bowl
back to my
and
point. You
plate
wouldn't
too,
think
so.
you can fit almost 4 beers in a frisbee, but you can. I'd be surprised how many beers you can fit in that bad boy.
This is a lot smaller than a frisbee.
Wait,
though.
pour out all your beers. onto that.
Pour your beers into
Then
that
drink
and
it
drink
from the bowl plate.
It does kind of look like a big sake cup.
Yeah.
They use it.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
definitely more stretched out, but yeah, similar, I would say.
Okay. Well, can we agree on if you eat soup out of it, it's a bowl. If you as that's your preferred dish for soup, it's a bowl.
Yeah. I feel like Dayton
Yeah.
came with the question and the answer. He was
Well, no, see, I didn't have an answer going into this.
okay.
I thought about it, and I was thinking that I was gonna bring it somewhere along the lines of like the shape of the curve,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
right? Because why would you like in Joseph's case at the undisclosed object that he's holding? It has a straight curve to or straight curve, I guess.
Straight
Not really a
edge.
curve, straight edge.
Yeah.
Thank you.
straight wall, maybe?
But I would say that bowls, it's actually curved, right? The slope of it is changing.
Mhm.
Yeah, but even
Right.
with Joseph's though, you're still gonna be able to like it's still at an angle. If you had a bowl that was just right angles, like it was the bottom and then right angles of the wall, that'd be hard to eat soup out of. You can't really get in those corners.
The box. You
I've
start
had-
drinking soup out of a
I've
box.
had bowls where it's not as the walls aren't as curved, where they're similar to this, just like steeper.
Was it hard to get the little bits? I guess
It
depending on the
wasn't too
chunks of
bad.
soup, yeah. I don't know.
So, what is your guys' ideal bowl shape?
Round.
Oh my gosh.
The ones I have in this apartment, I like. They're more. I think you'd call them soup bowls. They're definitely on the taller side.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like them because you can fit a lot in them, and you can but you can still hold it in one hand. Like it's not like it's just a nice little kind of tall bowl. A fan.
Okay.
I have 2 bowls in my house because I'm a man of taste. One is from IKEA, one is from Target. The Target bowls are pretty like straight and then it rounds out. They're very deep.
Mm-hmm.
They're great for soup, but I don't like them for anything else. And then my IKEA bowls are kind of more tapered, I would say. And I like the IKEA ones a lot better. They're not as deep, you can't hold as much shit, but it's not absurdly deep. Like I feel like the Target ones are. Like I feel like if you added a little bit more depth, you'd start to get into like big cup territory.
Mm.
So I don't know. I think
Okay, so it sounds like Gabe's a plate boy.
usually, yeah. I'm usually a plate guy.
I'm
But-
I'm also probably a plate guy. Joseph, you're a plate guy.
Yeah, I would say so.
And Dade's a bowl boy.
I'm a big plate guy, not a little bowl boy.
I was trying to make that like a play on words from the I Think You Should Leave. like little buff boys.
Oh yeah,
Little bowl boys.
yeah. The little bull
Um,
boys of the Midtown area.
Joseph, what's your ideal bowl?
Well, I really like. I know they're a little divisive, but the blue bowls that I have, where they're not crazy tall and they're pretty wide, but they have a nice flat bottom to them,
Okay.
so that like there's a lot of surface area on the when you get near the bottom to like maneuver things around. There's some bowls that are too tall and too narrow at the base. They like just slope in too much.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like not much surface area at the bottom because usually I don't eat a lot of soup. All right, I'm not much of a soup guy.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm eating something out of a bowl, it's more of like a rice dish maybe or like a curry, and I want space to maneuver around and to mix things up, and so I like having that flat base to it.
Dayton.
I have been chasing an ideal bowl for years. I have not found one. I have two different types of bowls, all right? And it's quite the predicament. I have these red bowls that I got from I think my mom gave them to me, all right? I don't know where she got them from. They're all right bowls. They're like a perfect 5 out of 10. They kind of steep sides, rounds out nicely, flat bottom, and it's only about, 2.5, 3 inches tall, right? It has this annoying fucking rim at the top. I don't get it. I don't get it. It goes up. This is the sidewall goes up, and then it goes like at like a 10-degree
Oh,
angle,
like
like
balloons
outward
outward. Yeah.
for like a centimeter,
Is
and
it
then it
for
goes straight
holding,
up
maybe?
again.
Is it like
Oh.
little?
I don't know, but it's so frustrating to deal with because then shit gets on it,
Yeah.
and that bowl I don't like because it doesn't hold a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just too small. The other ones I got from Goodwill, and I think they're from IKEA, actually. I
IKEA
don't,
bowls,
I don't
fuck, dude, they're good.
and it's got a pretty flat bottom. It's kind of similar to Joseph's undisclosed object that he was showing, but the base, the ID is smaller, right?
Mm.
So it becomes more bowl like than plate like. And that one's all right. I generally reach for those over the other ones, but I think I think that bowls need to have significant depth to them so you can heap a lot of shit into them. My ideal bowl, I think, has probably about a 3-inch diameter flat spot on the bottom, general taper up. I don't know what, it probably's got to be like a y equals x squared curve or something like that. Um, but I do think that if it had some degree of flair at the top, just to kind of, it adds to your heap ability.
Yeah. I mean, I
So
hear you.
maybe a slight flare at the top, but not flat.
The
And
only
a flare at the top adds more like you can hold the bowl one-handed a lot easier. You can hold one edge because you got more to like grab onto, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
stabilize the bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair. The only
Do you know how
problem with
to?
deep bowls is the mixability is compromised a little bit. It's hard to mix like vertically. Like on a plate, you
Yeah.
can mix basically, it's moving shit around. But like a vertical mix is hard. So like with soup, it's fine 'cause it's all liquid, everything moving around anyway. But if you're doing like rice on the bottom and then shit on top, like it can be hard to kind of get down and get what you want sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I think the flare helps. So if you heap it up a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and you can move stuff onto the flared edges a little bit, and then
Sure.
just kind of dig deep, pull stuff up from the bottom, and then just kind of keep working it.
Yeah.
But I have yet to find a bowl like that.
So another question that we didn't really consider or aspect of a bowl. This one is just a flat surface on the table side, right? How do you feel about having like a small like rim on the bottom that sits on top?
I don't mind it.
You don't mind it?
Do you mind?
Because I feel like that helps with like gripping it again, because you can like latch your finger underneath and hold the top like this. Whereas like right now, granted, it's hot in here. I'm sweating a little bit. It's hard to like. It's not as stable, right? Holding it like this.
Yeah, I think most like ceramic bowls and plates have that little rim on the bottom. Yeah, it is very good for gripability when moving things around.
I think that it also helps out with not losing heat if you're using a soup.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it has to radiate down through that air pocket, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm sure that this is literally like a 0.5% of all the heat loss from the bowl of soup, but it helps.
Mm-hmm.
Dayton likes his soup hot. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
He's a hot bowl boy.
He's a hot little bowl boy.
I didn't even like think of it when I said it for the first time, but I've been watching the Cuphead show on Netflix. I don't know if you guys.
Oh yeah.
That was thing, but there's a character called Bowl Boy.
Is there?
And he's a menace to society. Not unlike Dayton.
Sounds about right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna cut off the bowl discussion here. We've been talking about bowls for way too long, but I appreciate everyone's input. I think we all
Would you call it the bowl shit?
All right. Okay. I'm just gonna move on.
Come on, that was clever.
I think we should all strive for better bowls, in our homes. But
I agree.
Let's get on to random bullshit number 2. Okay. There you go, Joseph. So this one I think we might be kind of behind on. I'm pretty sure this was like a social media thing, but whatever. We're talking about it now. Also, a friend of the show, Andrea, recommended it, so shout out to her. Here's the question: are there more wheels or doors in the world? Gabe's going first.
Yeah. Okay. This is simple, folks. It's fucking wheels. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Go into any office building, right? Okay. I would say my now former employer, they've been installing doors ever since I fucking was there because they have to follow some very boring security thing that I don't want to get into, but they have to like have separate degrees of separation. So they're adding doors like nobody's fucking business they have to badge into. And no matter how many fucking doors they add, right? There's no goddamn way they could fucking catch up with the amount of goddamn wheels on a desk chair. And I'm telling you, there are fucking hundreds, if not thousands, of these fuckers in that office. And there's maybe 100 doors, maybe, even with all the security. There's 5 to 6 wheels depending on the office chair per office chair. It's a lot of wheels. And then you got cars, which is just a wash because usually it's 4 and 4 or 4 and 4, or if it's a coupe, it's 2 and 4, and then you win.
Yeah, there are no modes of transportation that have more doors than wheels. It's always equal, or there's more wheels.
Correct.
Joseph?
How are we defining doors and wheels?
Thank you. That's what I want to talk about, Joseph, because do we count cabinet doors? I think, we probably shouldn't. It probably should be like you should be able to walk through it. Then it's a door. I wasn't sure.
Or is a door... Because, a door is a hinged opening, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could argue there's sliding doors, maybe.
That's true.
But what does every door have? A door knob that spins. That's a wheel.
But what about garage doors?
That's not a wheel. That's not a
garage
wheel.
doors have wheels.
They do have wheels on the thing.
They do have wheels on the track, but a door handle is not a fucking wheel.
Hold on. The definition of a wheel is an object rotating around an axle. Doors also have hinges, generally 2 to 4 hinges, and that is an object rotating around an axle.
No.
Yes.
No. Look, here's the thing. I'm not saying you're scientifically wrong. I'm saying you're wrong for the purposes of this question.
Okay. Jess is making some pretty interesting arguments, and I might be drinking the Kool-Aid. But even if you ignored those things and ignored that and counted them, you would still win in wheels, like any day of the week.
Well, wheels just
wheels are ubiquitous with everything.
Do gears count as wheels?
No.
It spins.
Okay. Well, let's stop for a second, Joe.
What about a flywheel? Your engine has belts in it, and those are wheels. It's called a wheel. It doesn't have rubber that it spins on the road, but it has flywheels on it.
And think about the trains.
Trains. You got bicycles. They don't have any doors. They have 2 conventional
Snowmobiles.
wheels. The handlebar.
Tanks.
The handlebar rotates. There's bearings in the head tube. There's bearings in the pedals. There's bearings in the bottom bracket.
Oh, bikes alone, yeah.
There's a lot of bikes in the world.
As I said, every mode of transportation is it's net wheels because like I said, bikes, rollerblades, all that stuff. Here's the thing. I think personally, for the purpose of this question, a wheel has to be used in a way that it's like it's below something that's moving. So that like a chair or a car or I don't know if we count toys. I was thinking about toys. I'm like, okay, like a dollhouse.
Oh,
with a
dude,
bunch of
toys
doors.
count.
Hot Wheels cars definitely count.
Hot Wheels is the largest manufacturer of wheels.
Okay, well then, and that, but
or
I don't
is
think,
it Lego? I think it's Lego.
Lego's
never mind.
probably
I don't
up
think
there
we should
too.
count door handles and door hinges because I think it's just like those aren't wheels. All right, I'm sorry. Like
It says who?
They're scientifically wheels, but the average person would not call that a wheel. It's not used in the way a normal wheel is. I'm not saying that it's gonna put doors
rotates
over.
around an axle. That's a wheel.
I don't even think you need to include those as wheels for wheels to win.
No, you
You
don't.
really don't.
Okay, well, for just let me. Here's the thing. I'm not saying I was fully on team doors, but I want to make a good argument for team doors. Let's pretend that we're not saying door handles and door hinges are wheels. All right, Joseph. Let's calm down. Calm your tits. All right. What about apartment buildings? Okay, because not everyone has desk chairs like Gabe does in his office. Right. I'm not. Obviously, it's a huge net positive for wheels, but like apartment buildings have tons and tons and tons of doors and very little wheels. Or hotels even. Got like carts and shit, I guess. But like, there's a lot of doors. And do we count cabinet doors, or do we have to? It has to be a door that you walk through.
What about
question.
like sliding doors for showers?
Sliding doors. What about lockers? Are lockers a door?
See, sliding doors you walk through, so I think it does count. Lockers you don't walk through, so I'm gonna incline to say no. Same with cabinet doors.
No.
But it's a door.
Okay. I will admit,
You literally
in
said
my
a
apartment,
cabinet door.
Yeah, but it's like the wheel thing. It's like, yeah, it's technically a door, but like it's not a door in the same way, in the way we think about doors usually.
But you said cabinet door.
Dayton, I'm going to you. You said you have this discussion with your coworkers. Where do you fall?
Yeah, I'm on team wheels. Yeah, simply for the Legos and Hot Wheels argument. And I think, damn, I've got a lot of Hot Wheels.
Yeah,
that's
so you okay? So like this probably answers it with that, but like, where do you think is the greatest net positive for wheels? Is it toys? Is it Hot Wheels?
Toys.
I think toys are
toys,
up
and I
there.
also think manufacturing. Like if you look at all of the assembly lines, or at least a lot of assembly lines, like think about how like these are produced, right? Once you get them, then they slide on an assembly line or whatever they're called.
They
forget
told
the
me
word.
roller
by the way.
things.
And they're all like rollerways essentially.
Yeah.
And
Or even
I mean,
like
those,
conveyor belts have at least 2 on each end. You know?
Right.
Okay. I'm
yeah, and it's
I'm
like
honestly,
doors.
I'm surprised doors didn't put up more of a fight. I thought this would be like a larger discussion here. It seems like doors got their shit kicked.
I feel like doors don't have shit. You know, they
See,
have
Jacob,
like housing, and like residencies, but like that doesn't hold a candle to everything else that uses wheels.
All right, so Jacob, so Joseph called you out saying cabinet doors, right?
Mm.
If a cabinet door is not a door, then what is it?
I said it's a door is a door that you walk through. You don't walk.
But
through
you called it a cabinet door, so what should you call it?
I'm not okay. This goes back to our door handles wheels. It's like, yeah, technically it's a door, technically it's a wheel, but it's not what people think about when you say doors and wheels. When you say doors,
I think
it's something you walk through.
What about a doggy door? What about a doggy door?
That's a door because something and a living thing goes through it.
Mice go through cabinet doors sometimes.
Yeah.
All right.
Babies crawl.
I mean,
through
we can
cabinets.
count cabinet doors, but it doesn't sound like you guys are gonna. That's gonna make
I
a
think
difference.
part of this argument is trying to be as creative as you can with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of what makes it fun.
Yeah, I think that you need to get rid of all of these like stipulations. You need to make this thing like Olympics, but you just let everybody
Okay,
use
well,
drugs.
okay. What about
Yeah.
windows then? Are windows doors?
Yeah.
You can climb through it.
There's a lot of
Dane's
fucking.
climbed
I've
through
climbed through. I've climbed
Okay,
through
then
windows.
what about skyscrapers? You think? Okay, if you let's look.
Not well.
Think about
Not
a
all those
skyscraper.
windows open though. The window has to open, and
I have a
after like
question.
certain floor, they don't
Are
open.
are books doors?
It's the doorway to a new
The
world.
doorway to
Yo,
a
and
new
people-
universe.
And
I
people
like
say
that.
that eyes are the windows to the souls. Everybody's got two of them.
Well,
Well,
LeVar-
people have two of them.
Is your
LeVar
mouth the
Burton
door?
taught me that books are doors.
Now, okay, so now Gabe's making some points here. If we count books and windows and cabinets,
Then they'd put up a fight. Because there's a lot of fucking books in the world.
what about drawers? Probably not.
It has wheels.
No,
They
No, I
usually
would
do
s-
have wheels too.
I would say that a drawer is not because you don't go through it. You go into it.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't
Yeah,
go through a
it's-
book either.
Good.
I mean, yeah, when you read it, you go through it.
yeah, mentally, I'm in the book world
It's like a Magic Treehouse
or Narnia.
or Narnia.
I feel like
What
we're just
about-
pissed Jake
No.
about.
I'm thinking about what else could be doors then. I mean, like, are bottles doors?
No,
They-
again,
Like,
No.
is
it doesn't.
this
It needs to have a hole.
is this pill bottle a door? Because I have to go in every morning to get my acid reflux pills. How's that different from a cabinet? I open a thing.
See,
to
all
grab
right,
a
all
thing.
right. So this is a good analogy to make us think, okay, Jacob? So
Okay.
so your pill bottle, okay, right? So in this case, you would be arguing that the cap is a door. All right. And
That's
now
correct.
blow this up in scale, all right? You got a cave, all right? You
Mhm.
throw a door on there, a conventional door on there, all right? That, for all intents and purposes, is equivalent, right? And especially, so I think that a cap might actually be a door.
A vault door.
I'm on board with that.
Vault door. Let's
I
start
think
out.
doors are making a comeback here because there's a lot of bottles and caps.
Yeah, there really
I think-
are.
I
What
think
about,
it
like-
has to be a match. So like if you have like a loose bottle cap, is like a door not connected to anything? Is that still a door?
Are you just saying like I took
Is it
the
just a
bottle
piece
cap
of
off my
wood?
beer? It's not. This isn't going back on.
Let's say
You know.
you permanently separate it for all intents and purposes. You throw the bottle cap away in one garbage can and you recycle the bottle. I would say that is no longer the door anymore because it is completely separated. If you put a
Like
new
doors
cap,
have to have hinges. You know,
no,
they
because
have
like
to
sliding
close.
doors.
Fuck.
No, I'm with
Yeah.
Joseph. Yeah, until it's permanently separated, it's a door.
See, but there's also
feasibly separated.
so you can pull a door off of the hinges and use it as a table.
Yeah.
If you use it as a table, people aren't going to be like, "That's a table." They're going to be like, "That's a door."
That's a great
It's a
point.
door used as a table, but it is not acting as a door currently.
What about pop can lid? Like when you crack a pop, like or a beer can.
But that's a
Little-
one-time use.
Right, you can't put it back.
You
Ever.
cannot.
Okay, if I never
Close that
close,
door.
if I never close a door, is it still a door?
But do you have the option to close the door?
Yeah, you can choose to if
What
you
if it's
want.
broken?
I can't
What if the door
reseal
is
this.
broken, so I can't close it all the
Then
way?
it's not a door.
That's
it's a piece of
bullshit.
wood connected. It's a piece of wood connected to a doorway.
That's like saying, okay, you can say the same thing with wheels. If you have a fucking flat wheel, it's still a wheel if it doesn't work as its purpose of a wheel. No. If it's fucking flat or dented and it doesn't fucking roll, it's not a fucking
No,
wheel.
I think that's still a wheel.
I think it's
Really?
still a door even if it doesn't close.
You look at it, and you say, if I were to hand you a broken wheel, all right, let's say,
Okay, I would say
And-
it's a wheel.
and I would be like, Gabe, what is this? You would be like, that's a broken wheel. You wouldn't say, that's a weirdly shaped piece of metal.
Or like when Dayton broke our back door at college, it's not even gonna stop calling that a door.
Okay.
All right.
So if we're calling
No word.
broken defective pieces still doors or wheels, how many
I think
fucking
defective-
discarded wheels are there in the world?
There's a
so
lot.
many. I'm sure the same thing with doors,
There's also a
but
ton of
No,
pop.
dude,
There's also a ton of
you
aluminum
can
cans.
burn doors, you can put them on other fucking doors. Like once you got a bad wheel, it's
How many aluminum cans are in the world? That's a door for every single one. Plot.
I
Yeah,
think the
I'm not
reusability.
buying
I
aluminum
think the
cans.
reusability needs to be a thing, right? So like in your pill bottle, okay,
Mhm.
that can be taken off, put back on numerous times. With something like this, again,
It's a
one
one-time
one
use.
Can't
time
reseal
use.
it. I
I
don't
think
think this is a broken door.
resealability. That's a good
Okay,
term.
but if you break a door, it's still a door. But you're saying it's still a door because I could fix it. But you're saying I can't call that a door because I can't quote unquote fix it. I could take out a blowtorch. I could reseal that bad
No,
boy.
I think it's the intent behind the original thing, and also resealability. So in the case of a broken door, it has at one point resealability, right?
Mhm.
And the intent behind it is to function as a door. Versus this can, it has the intent to function as a door, but it does not have resealability.
Okay. Oh, is it a door before the seal is broken?
Like if
Yeah,
anything,
it's just a closed door.
So once the seal is broken, then it's not a door anymore.
Huh. Interesting point.
I feel like it's a window into good
We
times.
said windows were doors.
But then it
No, it's
becomes a broken window, so therefore it's not a door. I don't know. It's a tricky
I also
one.
want to say, so are we agreeing now that door knobs are wheels? If a pop can is a door, but a gear isn't a wheel, like that's just complete horseshit.
It just still feels wrong.
That would
to me,
absolutely
you know?
nullify the entire door wheel argument because you're evening out pretty much every door unless there's like sliding doors, I guess.
Well, I say
Yeah.
there's sliding doors. There's I'm sure there's latches that don't
Rotating
spin.
doors. Those spinny
knows?
There's
boys.
still a lot of books though.
Would you say a rotating door is a wheel?
Oh fuck!
I think it's a door and a wheel.
But is it one? Like, okay,
It's a
rotating
neutral.
door-
It's one and one. It's neutral. It's like a 4-door
But
car.
no, a lot
It's
of them
neutral.
have like 6 doors, like
Yeah,
6
there's like
flaps,
four,
but like one wheel
fours,
that
yeah.
spins around it.
Yeah. Do you say each flap is a door? Or do you say the entire thing's a door?
But it's one doorway. No, it's
But-
2 doorways.
But multiple
It's
people,
true.
like you can have different
In and
groups of
out.
people in each pocket. I think they're all their own door.
I think it's 2 doorways though, because you can go in one. Generally, if you're going in, the other on the other
I
side,
am,
someone's
yeah.
going out.
We're not talking
So
about
it's like
doorways
2
though. We're
door.
talking about doors.
I know, but there's generally one door per doorway. Usually, there are exceptions.
There's a lot of double doors in one doorway.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I think that even if you look at it in the terms of doorways, right, Joseph? So you're saying that there's an in and an out for those. We're still saying that a door functioning as a table is a door. So therefore, the doors that are not
That I'm
functioning
not
in
buying.
If a
It's
door
not being
functioning as
used-
a table is a door, then the open pop can is a door.
Okay, if you use a wheel
Yeah.
as a nightstand,
no, it doesn't have the intent.
Does
It
that-
doesn't.
If you
Is
break
that
a
still
door
a
off
wheel?
using a
The intent
table,
is-
it's not going back.
That's what I'm saying about
You can
wheels.
pull the
Okay,
hinges out.
what happens if you turn a wheel into a little nightstand or a little corner table?
Or like a
Is that still a wheel, or is that a corner table, like a coffee table?
I think it has to be like used as a door or a wheel. Like it has to be in use.
But then that says all broken ones aren't doors or wheels. Like anything that's broken, it loses its description, which from Dayton's thought experiment is not true.
Well, like okay,
Per Dayton's theorem.
For the Pax theorem, the big bull boy theorem.
The big bull boy theorem.
Okay,
Super dumb.
here's a point for the wheel team. Let me ask you this. One second, let me get one out here. Mento.
if I take a hula hoop and roll it down the road, is that a wheel?
Is this a wheel?
Or
I'm
a coin?
holding up a quarter.
It doesn't have the intent to function as a wheel.
Also doesn't have an axle.
Yeah.
But you can roll like a wheel if you want to.
You could use it as a wheel. You drill a hole and put
Okay, so Dayton, what about temporary doors? Are those not doors? Like construction sites that use like plywood as like a fucking makeshift door? Is that not a door because it didn't have the intent on being a door? It was just meant to be plywood.
No, once they put it up, then it fulfills the intent to be a door. So it was when it was before before it was a door, it was a sheet of plywood,
Mhm.
right? Then they installed it as a door, therefore it's a door. But because the original thing was not made to be a door after you take it
not a
off, it
door.
goes back to
Okay.
being a piece of plywood. That's my argument with the table. The
So-
whole table
Well, what if
door.
there's
So
no
like
intent
So if
to return
Jacob
the
took
table
that
to a door?
quarter, taped it to a pencil, and put another quarter on the other end, and taped it together, and made it into a wheel, it would become a wheel. But the moment you took it off, it would just become a quarter again. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that's what you're
yeah,
Okay.
that's consistent.
Just
Also,
trying to
I
make
feel
sure
like these
we're keeping
these
track of
use
this.
cases are such a small percentage of the total doors and wheels. Probably not worth talking about.
But they're fun to talk about.
It is fun though.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like.
I
what are
think
the big money
objectively
makers?
it'd be wheels, but like we're just defining what's a door and a wheel.
Yeah.
Which is fun in and of itself.
I'm just saying we
Yeah.
always gotta start with the rules, Joseph. You know how we are in this podcast.
Yeah,
We start
that's
with the
what I'm
rules.
saying.
You're saying there's no rules.
Well, there are. I mean, we're defining that is the rule: is what is a door and what considers a door and what's considered a window or a wheel. Doors and windows. So I happened upon the trump card of this argument.
Oh,
Wow. A while ago. There's this YouTube video I came across. I can send it to you guys. It's pretty interesting. It's kind of cringy. I'm not gonna lie. The guy's a little cringe, but he knows what he's talking about. It's just his editing is I'm not a fan of, but
sure.
His name's Kyle Hill. I don't know if you've heard of him. But anyway, he brought up the point that there are bacteria that have functioning gears, and it's technically a wheel that they use to spin like a tail to move. And it's like, by all definitions, a wheel. And there's like, what, trillions on every person. Like, it's just a very common bacteria. And I wish I saw this like 2 months ago, so I don't really remember what the type is. I could probably look it up real quick, but
Are cell membranes doors?
It's a great question, Gabe. I'll bring that up. You'll remember what's the power of the cell? Mitochondria. How do you get into mitochondria? Membranes. Are membranes doors? I think they are.
I don't. Are
They're
they?
They're used for
Semi-permeable.
transport. They're semi-permeable, used for transport. Does that make but hold on, Gabe. If semi-permeable membranes are doors, does that make like coffee filters doors? Like each little microscopic hole in the coffee filter has a door.
It's just a hole. See, there's no doorway.
But okay, it's not a hole
There is
because
for the water. It's a door for the water.
Yeah, it's a door for the water. Like, it's not a hole. All these certain things go through it.
I think
So-
if you were making the argument that it needs to be a living, if it's a living thing, then you. Okay,
No,
I
no.
don't like this.
No. So I'm saying if I have a doorway and I take the door off, burn the door. The door does not exist. Do not replace it. It is purely a doorway. Is there still a door?
No,
Does
you
that
burned
count
it.
as a door?
It's gone.
No, it's a doorway.
Okay, so how is a bunch of little holes in a coffee filter a door?
They're not
It is-
resealable.
They're not resealable, and they were never closed to begin with. It's
But they're
just
closed
a-
to certain things.
That's
Okay,
like
I can't fit an
saying
elephant through my butthole.
I wasn't gonna say butthole. I was
It's a
gonna say a door, but yeah.
It's a door to pleasure.
For
Gabe.
Dave or the elephant?
Fine. I'm just saying,
man.
if semi-permeable membranes were doors would win.
But it's just a very specific. That's like saying the little baby cute puzzle where you got like 8 different shapes and you put it through. That's like
Mhm.
calling that a door because
Okay,
the
hold on.
triangle does not fit in the square.
What about active transporters? I'm about to get microbiology on your
Active
ass. Like the
transporters.
sodium potassium pump, where you know what I'm talking about, Gabe? You're shaking your head.
I took AP biology 7 years ago. I remember some of
The
this.
sodium
9
potassium
years
pump
ago.
is a pump that's on the wall of a cell, right? And it starts off facing outward, we'll say. And I don't remember which way it goes, but let's just say it goes the way I'm saying. You have to stick on 2 sodium ions, stick to it, and then it's like, oh, we're full. Switches the other way, so now it's facing inside. The sodium pop off. 3 potassium ions load in. It's like, all right, we're full. Switches back. That's a fucking door.
That's a door.
That's
That sounds
guaranteed
like
a door. And there's a lot. I mean, I can't say for certain that there's more active transporters or just transporters in general compared to this bacteria you're talking about. But bacteria will have those. I think it's a door.
What about enzymes and like proteins that bind to them? Are those doors because it's like a key situation
Lock
where
key.
like they don't activate until they're bonded?
Because locks
Does
and
that
keys
become
are
a
on
door?
doors.
Is
I
a
don't know if it like
padlock a door?
opens anything particularly. It just like creates a reaction, but it does give a lock key dynamic, you know.
But is a padlock a door?
No.
No.
No. Yeah, I don't think enzymes count, unfortunately.
Okay.
Good point though. I like it.
But I think active transporters definitely count.
I mean,
Yeah,
okay.
that one
let's
I would
see
say.
I agree.
how many active transporters are on one cell.
Great
Well, it
question.
probably depends on the cell.
Let them type it. Let them type it.
It's not giving me an average. Just saying there are a couple different types.
Because this could be huge. Granted, bacteria can be single cell organisms and all that. I should know. I'm studying it right now, but active transporters might take this over the edge.
I'm
Not
not
How
getting
common
a
are they?
number here.
very common. They're required for like certain like salt balance in your cells.
Well, doesn't ATP use that or whatever?
There's also an ATP transporter, yeah. ATP pump. Any kind of pump where it's moving things from one side of a wall to another. That's a door. It's like a fancy door, but it's a door.
Does that have hinges?
Neither do sliding doors.
But they have bearings.
Sliding doors have wheels usually.
Yeah.
To roll around.
A net. It's a net.
That's kind of a hinge. A hinge is a wheel, so
I'll give you doorknobs. I'm not giving you fucking hinges.
I feel like hinges aren't that far off from a doorknob.
All right.
use
So how
case.
about this? Okay. You take one wheel, all right? A car wheel, all right? You slap a tire on that bad boy. That's a wheel, right?
Yeah.
Jacob?
Sorry, say it again. I was zoned out.
You take one wheel, right, from a car. Throw a tire on it, all right?
Mhm.
You agree. That's a wheel.
Yeah.
All right. Now stick an axle through it, all right? That's a wheel on an axle, right?
Mm-hmm.
You stick 17 tires on that axle, all right?
Mhm.
That's 17 tires on an axle, all right? Now you fuse all of those together, all right? 17 wheels becomes
Describing a
one
steamroller.
wheel, all right? Is that a wheel?
I guess.
One wheel.
So hinges are wheels. My point is made.
I don't like it.
I like being on this side of Dayton's bullshit. I gotta say, it's really fun.
You find anything, Gabe?
I didn't get an average number. No, it was just like here's the different types. No one counted them. Dumb.
They don't not answering the real questions out here.
Yeah.
Approximate average transporters in the world.
All right.
Oh,
Any
no.
closing arguments here on other things we can fit into doors or wheels? Here, Joseph, I'm sad because like me and you were like we were right together on the soup salad thing, but now I feel like we're drifting apart in this wheel door business.
Well, that's because I'm right and you're wrong.
All right. All right. Well, I guess we're going wheels, unfortunately, unless we got extra transporters, which maybe it's doors. I'm not happy about this. All right. I don't know why. I had to be the stand for team doors, but somebody had to do it.
He's so miffed.
I'm glad
Content.
somebody did because there was no way I was gonna argue doors.
Yeah, I don't know if I could
I-
even like stoop that low to argue for doors. To be honest.
I would have if it would have presented itself to me.
At least
I
I'm
would-
at least I'm
If
not
the
a bull
call
boy
to
like
action
Aiden.
was there.
Little
bull boys.
Little bull boy.
All right. Well, thank you to everyone listening to this episode of the Injured Set Filters podcast. As always, you can find our show on Monday mornings, the first Monday of the month. If you like our show, tell your friends about it. Follow us on social media and follow us on Twitch if you can. That'd help us out. But until next time, thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.